Okay, so this lesson is about identifying and fixing run-on sentences. So the definition of a run-on is it's a results when two sentences, or in other words independent clauses, are joined without correct punctuation. So remember that an independent clause is something that has a subject and a verb and a complete thought and could stand alone as a separate sentence. So a run-on happens when two independent clauses just kind of come together in the wrong way. There's two kinds of run-ons that you need to pay attention to. The first is the comma splice run-on, and the next is what's called a fused sentence run-on. Okay, so let's take these in turn. The comma splice is when two independent sentences are separated by a comma instead of a period. Now, we all know that sentences are separated by a period or full stop. Putting a comma in there just doesn't work. So let's look at some incorrect examples. Swimming is good exercise. I do it every morning. Okay, we have two independent sentences there that cannot be separated just by a comma. I still haven't figured out Spanish. I've been studying it for years. I've been waiting here for 1 hour. I'm going home. So you can see that these are called these are comma splices. There should be a period there, or there are other ways of fixing that we'll look at. There's a few different ways. So the first option to fix it is to join the independent clause. Join the independent clauses with a coordinating. Okay, cut that. So the first option to fix this. So the first option to fix a comma splice is to join those two independent clauses with a coordinating conjunction. Remember, those are the fanboys conjunctions: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. So swimming is good exercise. So we have those three examples here. Here's how they would be fixed with adding one of those coordinating conjunctions. So swimming is good exercise. So I do it every morning. Okay, that works. Now we have a conjunction joining those two. I still haven't figured out Spanish, and I've been studying it for years. That works. We've added a conjunction. And then in this last one, another conjunction. So that's how we would fix those, with the adding a coordinating conjunction. Okay, the second option is to separate the sentences with a period. This is straightforward. We're dealing with two separate sentences. We can simply put a period there. And obviously that's what this would look like. Okay, the third option is to use a semicolon to separate the two sentences. A semicolon indicates a close relationship between the two sentences, and sometimes writers will choose to put the semicolon in there. It's optional. It's not required. It's, like I say, just to demonstrate a close relationship, as if that second sentence were just kind of a follow-up thought of the first. And so here's what the semicolon solution looks like. Okay, so the second type of run-on was the fused sentence run-on. And that is when two independent sentences come together without punctuation or conjunction or anything. They're just kind of blend together. And those are called fused sentences. An example is, I hope to see you at the movies this weekend. There's a new one in the Dollar Theater. Okay, so two independent sentences here. Can you see where they just kind of run together, where they blend together? Let's look at the fix options for these are the same as with the comma splice. We can add a conjunction to join the sentences. And in this case we have a subordinating conjunction, because there's a new one in the Dollar Theater. Okay, the fix option number 2 is just to separate the sentences with a period. And that's what this would look like. And the third option for fixing the fused sentence is the semicolon. Remember, we just put a semicolon if we want to show that close relationship between the two sentences, and that is what this would look like. Okay, so you can see that fixing the run-ons is really easy. It's just a matter of knowing where one sentence ends and another begins. Did you see the run-on in that little slide there? It's kind of a little quiz, little pop quiz to see if you're paying attention. That slide does have a comma splice in it. The comma after fix should not be there. It should be a period, a semicolon, or there should be a conjunction there. There's two separate sentences. So there's where the splice takes place, and we can easily fix it just with a period. Or we could put a conjunction in there. Now we join the two sentences with a conjunction. Or there is our semicolon. Okay, so there you go. That's the lesson on run-on sentences. They are not a difficult problem to fix. They can be a little trickier to find. You just have to have that sense of where one thought ends and a completely new thought begins, and see if they are joined correctly.